Hey everyone, welcome back to WWE 12 Universe. I'm your host Titch and you are watching the first episode of ECW in the year 2011. We're kicking things off here tonight with a one-on-one match to prepare for the 2011 Royal Rumble as Sin Cara goes one-on-one with the Raw General Manager Mick Foley, as these two both look to just pick up a little bit of momentum heading into this year's Royal Rumble matchup, as I believe that's your confirmation that they'll both be in it. It should be very interesting to see who gets the upper hand as we draw closer and closer to the 2011 Royal Rumble. We've still got another 2 more weeks of ECWs until we're there. 2 more episodes even on top of this one. So basically 3 weeks is what I'm saying in the most go around me kind of way. Sin Cara walks into this match here tonight with a 3-14 win-loss record. His last match here on ECW being at the end of November when he lost to a wrestler who is no longer a part of the ECW roster or the WWE as a whole. Whereas this man, the Raw General Manager Mick Foley, we have not seen in competition since the 14th of December. However, he was victorious over Arn Anderson in his last match, and he does have a 7-4 record this season, a 7-5 overall. Should be very interesting to see what happens when Mick Foley goes one-on-one with Sin Cara. Statistically, the odds are in Foley's favor, but you just never know. So far here on ECW, we've seen The Big Show return to action, declaring that he'll be in the Royal Rumble this year, as he defeated Mason Ryan. And last week we saw Cody Rhodes and Kane both try to prove themselves in singles competition, with Kane picking up a big victory on the road to the Royal Rumble. Here tonight, I'd definitely say Mick Foley kind of stands as the bigger man between the two, but Sin Cara is a lot faster than Mick Foley, and with Mick Foley mostly spending a lot of time in an office on his ass, I've got to say Sin Cara is probably more ring prepared too, and this is the first match the man's been in almost 2 months, or a month and a half-ish I'd say. Sin Cara's got a lot of motivation on the brain, I'd have to imagine. I would have to imagine. So I can't wait to see what happens when these two collide. I believe we've got another off week coming up in the calendar. As I mentioned before, there are 48 weeks in the Universe calendar. That means there are 4 weeks in the year where good superstars of Raw, ECW, and SmackDown get to have a little bit of a rest up. And the next one, I believe, is the go home from SmackDown. There'll be a week in between that and the Royal Rumble. So it'll actually be 4 weeks almost from now that the Royal Rumble takes place. I believe the last SmackDown is on the 21st of January, and then the Royal Rumble itself is on the 30th of January. So yeah, they'll get a little bit of extra time on their reigns for doing absolutely nothing, the defending champions. It's always a good one. I got to do something about it, and I'm just not interested in filling up 52 weeks a year. I'd rather just skip the weeks where it doesn't add up. Like, I have no problem with that. It's like if the build is actually less than what it is in the game, I'll simulate a week and just get straight to the pay-per-view, so it might even be less than 48 weeks. My reason for doing that is because I want the series to, like, you know, I want to put a lot of effort into this series, but I want to go with, like, what the game gives me plus the correct calendar. I don't actually want to, like, stretch it out too long or anything. I want to get through the games at kind of a good pace. I feel like everything's just been turning out fine as it is. I don't feel like I need to stretch things out and make them longer. There's no need for it. What would an extra week actually provide other than some more matches to hype up the Rumble event? But I feel like it's already going to be fairly built by then, you know? We've had the Women's Championship match from Raw, pretty damn built up. The World Heavyweight Championship match, I feel like, is you know, it's taking form nice and quickly, barring Raw's main event this week. The World Tag Team Championship match, I feel like, is just going to be coming to a close at just the right time. The Rumble match itself, you can only build so much. Like, there's not really all that much you can do. I'll probably do my usual, where I have a 6-man battle royal on each brand, featuring some people that will probably be in the Rumble. I don't like to give away who's going to be in the Rumble, so it's usually like a probably. Like, one of these two might not actually be in it. It depends who I can squeeze in. With it being 40-man, probably everyone, near enough, but I don't like to really give that kind of stuff away. What else is actually happening at the Rumble? I feel like the ECW Championship match between Swagger and Kozlov is being built very smoothly now that Kozlov is the contender. There'll be more to do with that tonight, actually, which I'll get to in a moment. I do actually kind of need to talk about that before the next couple matches happen, so I'll be sure to do so. From SmackDown, I think what we've got is the WWE Championship match between The Miz and The Rock, which has been long built up. Like, that's... You know, it's had plenty of history to it. So I don't really feel like there's anything that, like, needs that extra bit, to be honest. Like, I don't feel like an extra week would do anything. I feel like I see the game's calendar, I see what I've got to work with, and I just kind of work with it. Not, like, patting myself on the back or anything. I'm just saying, like, I don't really need extra time. It's just extra weeks for no reason. I'm happy with what the game gives. Mick Foley finally trying to get some offense, and I've got to say, Cara has really had his number. This is an odd one to see. But up next, we've got a tag team matchup, as we are going to be seeing the powerhouses Ezekiel Jackson and Brodus Clay in tag team competition against Ted DiBiase and Mason Ryan, as the issues between DiBiase's Posse and McMahon's Powerhouse continues. And in our main event here tonight, we've been told that El Dinero is set to face off against Jack Swagger here tonight, and if he wants to keep appearing on McMahon's show, he's going to have to obey McMahon's orders, and he wants El Dinero unmasked by the end of tonight. He is sick and tired of seeing this man hide behind a butler's suit and a skull mask. He wants to know who it is. I don't really know why, but I guess we're going to find out tonight if he has his way. I mean, Swagger and Dinero one-on-one. Which should be interesting to see. You know, it's only been a couple weeks we've been seeing this Dinero guy. I don't know how McMahon managed to get so sick of him so quickly, but he sure did. Oh, big elbow. A shoulder tackle, even. I feel like Mick Foley's just a little bit too slow for Sin Cara tonight. We're seeing, as I say, the speed of Sin Cara really pay off. Of course, you may be wondering where the hardcore championship defenses have been, as well as the slammy results. Well, as it stands, there is the previous week of Universe. I actually haven't uploaded. I recorded them on the 27th of October. Today's the 10th of November. I just haven't uploaded them. I don't know why. I just haven't found the motivation to quickly cut them down and upload them. Not because I don't care about this series, not because I don't want to get this series going. I genuinely do not have an answer as to why I haven't posted them. I just haven't. Laziness, I guess. I don't know. I've been really thinking a lot about this series and how I want to finish it, but like, every now and then I find myself slipping for no reason. I've had a couple occasions where I could have recorded it over the last couple of weeks and I just kind of didn't. I think I just get a little too wrapped up in like other games. Like, I've been playing a lot of Smash Bros. Ultimate, which I do not record. I refuse to record. I do not like YouTube or Twitch when it comes to like fighting based games. These games are different. It's not really about the match itself, it's about the story and everything. But they're very much something I play in my own time, barring maybe like the story mode of Smash Bros. Brawl. I think I'd maybe record that. Otherwise, I'm not really into it, because you get shat on real hard when you play fighting games, I've learned. I've done it like 3 or 4 times, and they just have the worst audience. It's just too many people telling you all about how you're wrong. I mean, I'm not really a big card game guy, but it was the same with Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to really like playing those games, but I remember a very clear breaking point where I never wanted to play one of those on YouTube again, barring Duelist of the Roses, because it plays completely differently to any other one. And I really enjoy the playstyle of that one. And no one gets super, like, gatekeepery, you're playing it wrong about that one either. But everything else just... people just ruin things too much sometimes. There's just certain games you just cannot play on the channel, because you're bound to have a bad time. I gotta say, this match has gone a lot longer than I thought it would, and it's been incredibly competitive. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, with the win-loss records, I was purely expecting Mick Foley to just squash Sin Cara, and I feel like Foley has really shown how much he's been slipping since becoming the Raw General Manager. Like, this man is not focused on his in-ring competition at all right now, and I feel like he needs to step up. Oh, I believe that was his finisher, the double arm DDT. He just didn't go for the pin off of it.
Trying to get the blood flowing to his brain. Wow, talk about timing.
Talk about it. What am I supposed to say? Mick Foley dragging Sin Cara away from the ropes as he goes for the pinfall. With that double arm DDT having connected, this could very well be it. And it is. Mick Foley picks up the victory. But I gotta say, Sin Cara, whether you love or hate Sin Cara, and I know a lot of people do hate Sin Cara, they just cannot enjoy him, I think he really showed something tonight. He really brought Mick Foley to his limits at certain points. But in the end, Foley did manage to outlast Sin Cara, and he is victorious. And the Bang Bang Man picks up big victory. So we move on now. Up next, tag team action. Ted DiBiase and Mason Ryan teaming up to face off against Brodus Clay and Ezekiel Jackson. What state is Jackson in after his 3-on-1 assault last week? Well, that's what we find out next. I've received word that apparently DiBiase and Mason Ryan were met rather unfortunately backstage by Ezekiel Jackson and Brodus Clay. We'll be sure to play the footage in a moment. I'm sure it will be just as clumsy and awkward as all backstage interactions are. But we're just readying it. Viewer discretion is advised. This could be really rough to watch. But it seems like this was a setup all along. As we wait and wait and wait. What's gonna happen here? Yeah, 12. That was the time it was. 12 in the morning. We saw this backstage interaction here. Ezekiel Jackson and Mason Ryan got into a altercation with Powerhouse backstage. I think it's safe to say that this, as I said before, this was a setup. This was all to do with trying to make sure that one team wasn't able to interfere in tonight's main event. I can't tell you how things went down. What I will tell you is, for sure, one team will not be able to interfere in tonight's main event. Whoever will it be? There's no real saying who started this altercation. All four were kind of squaring off in the back when the footage was found. Mason Ryan, I mean, that guy's a powerhouse. A former member of it, actually. Oh, hello Felix. You've decided to break your silence as strongly as you possibly could. I don't know if you guys will have heard that. I mentioned before, he's not got the strongest voice. Brodus and Mason Ryan really just broing out right now. They don't call him Brodus for nothing. DiBiase. Ooh. Thrown into that box. Oh my god. Mason Ryan may have to go at this alone. I don't know if DiBiase's got a lot left in him out there. If anything. Where's the back rakes, man? So it's not about backstage brawl without a back rake or two. Oh, they don't call Mason Ryan a powerhouse for nothing. The guy really gave his all by the looks of it. I don't know if he managed to overcome them or what, but it ain't looking promising, I'll tell you that. I'm gonna sneeze. Yeah, I knew it was coming. Ezekiel Jackson. Ooh, same way they took out DiBiase, shoulder first into the crate. And I hear there was plenty more to come after that. They went backstage and they found the locker room of DiBiase's men. And I can't really say much more than that, but they were in there. And we'll now go towards our main event, Jack Swagger versus El Dinero. If Dinero loses, he must unmask. Oh, here we go. Jack Swagger coming on out for this one-on-one match. Wait, what? I'd recognize that walk and that body anywhere. That's Mr. McMahon under that El Dinero suit. This is what I meant by they went backstage and they found the locker room. They unmasked Dinero in the most sneakiest way possible. Whilst he wasn't there, they took his gear. I guess Dinero's going to have to come out unmasked. This was a plan all along. That was why they attacked the DiBiase squad backstage. Well, who is it? Who is El Dinero? Well, we all had our sneaking suspicions, I'm sure.
And his opponent from El Paso, Texas, weighing 215 pounds, Chavo.
Well, this is Chavo's opportunity for redemption. The man has been forced to unmask. We now know that El Dinero is Chavo Guerrero. What a shocking twist that I'm sure nobody saw coming at all. This is truly an incredible moment. Chavo Guerrero wowing us all with this unexpected return as he's coming down to the ring here tonight. Is Chavo Guerrero going to be able to get some redemption? I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Chavo Guerrero is back here on ECW. Unfortunately, what he doesn't realize is, yeah, his clothes were missing. He had to come out, reveal himself to the world as who he is. But what I don't think he does realize is that both members of that posse are not going to be here for this matchup. So Jack Swagger now going to go up against the man he retired weeks back. We saw Jack Swagger defeat Chavo in a championship defense. And of course McMahon parading around at ringside in Chavo's Dinero gear. The most McMahon thing I can possibly think of. He wanted to really rub it in however he could, and the way he found to do it was to just steal the gear and wear it to the ring. Well, it will be Jack Swagger versus Vladimir Kozlov in 3 weeks' time at the Royal Rumble for the ECW Championship. Kozlov has made it quite clear he is not really aligned with any man, but after the powerhouse turned on Vladimir Kozlov, he felt it was fitting to give back the $1 Million Championship to Ted DiBiase. Now, I guess that fan there doesn't like Chavo. You can't win them all. Unfortunately for Chavo Guerrero, it was quite a brutal beating that saw the end of his career weeks back. But I mean, since donning the Dinero mask, Chavo's been pretty impressive. I mean, the guy who picked up a victory over Ezekiel Jackson last week all by himself. Oh yeah, it was just Dinero. He is independently contracted by Ted DiBiase, so he is permitted to be here on ECW, something that McMahon has really hated about DiBiase's pull in the business and all that money he's got, is he has been able to sign his own wrestlers that he will have at ringside. Mason Ryan contracted under DiBiase, Chavo Guerrero contracted under DiBiase, and I'm sure plenty more to come. Should McMahon want to get rid of anyone right now, DiBiase can get them back, and DiBiase is worth too much to this company to have McMahon just fire him. He'll have to go through a much bigger procedure to fire someone whose family has some serious ties with the business. So McMahon has just got to deal with things as they come. Right now, DiBiase having a lot of fun just toying with McMahon, but unfortunately, it looks like that fun and games could be over as the ECW Champion Jack Swagger is really bringing it to Chavo Guerrero right now, and he's got to get serious. Jack Swagger has got to really start to focus. He's got to overcome Vladimir Kozlov at the Royal Rumble, and should he be able to do that, what comes next for Jack Swagger is something I think he's truly got to brace himself for, something every champion's got to brace himself for, because you think not only is there the Royal Rumble where the winner could choose you, but you may not even be the champion heading into WrestleMania, because Elimination Chamber lies in the way, and Swagger will have to defend that ECW Championship in the Elimination Chamber should he overcome Vladimir Kozlov at the Royal Rumble. He's just choking the life out of Chavo Guerrero right now. Chavo out cold. Is that going to be enough to get the job done? No. Man, very proud of Jack Swagger and what he has done as ECW champion thus far. Of course, let's not forget, Swagger has actually managed to successfully defend that championship on a few occasions, including against Chavo Guerrero. I'm going to really miss the persona of El Dinero, guys. I've got to be honest. Chavo Guerrero about to go flying across that ring, belly to belly. Yes, no DiBiase, no Mason Ryan, no backup for Chavo Guerrero whatsoever.
The tension, the drama, this is electric. All your friends, let them know what's going on right now in this awesome match. Oh, a big fall out of the ring.
I mean, what would a victory for Chavo Guerrero do here tonight? Obviously, it's a big-time victory, but the ECW Championship match for the Royal Rumble is already set. Here comes McMahon. I'm not calling that guy Dinero. I know who's under that suit.
Man, this is one of those matches you just like to sit back and enjoy watching.
Chavo got to look out. Oof.
Did you hear that impact?
Man, showing us his best dance over there. He's got some serious moves, that guy. Stand back. Guerrero trying to get back into this matchup. Throws him in, and no, Guerrero grappling with his other persona there. Man, taking an opportunity to throw him in the ring. I realized how equal in size McMahon and Chavo Guerrero were.
Swagger is extremely intelligent. Not only is he a two-time All-American, he was also an academic.
This is just not Chavo's night right now. The guy is trying his hardest to get some momentum going for him here. Bad enough the guy's had to reveal himself. He was clearly more comfortable keeping it a mystery. Knowing he's got no backup, no anything. This is brutal. Swagger up on the shoulders of Chavo Guerrero as he drops him down there. Death Valley driver.
I'm not sure if he knows where he is right now. And there's the technique of the two-time All-American.
Choking the life out of Chavo Guerrero once again. Jack Swagger. He's an All-American American. He's got that whole amateur background about him. Brutal guy.
Big move coming. I think after that, I'd be searching in my
Oh, look at that.
flag I could wave.
Just rubbing it in.
Dig way down deep if he wants to keep going now. Swagger demonstrating skill, power, and ruthlessness. He does it again. Look at this.
Oof. He drops him again, and Swagger Sizing up Chavo Guerrero for what has not been the greatest night. Oh, no, Jack. What do we call it? A gut wrench powerbomb. It's because his name is Jack. And again, Swagger gets the last laugh against Chavo Guerrero. Chavo tried to endure there, but the ECW champion is the real deal. And in 3 weeks, Jack Swagger's got to overcome Vladimir Kozlov, and Kozlov is a much bigger opponent than Chavo Guerrero, with all due respect. Mr. McMahon really turning the ECW roster against him with this man as champion, and he doesn't give a damn what anyone thinks as long as Swagger is champion. As long as he's got what he wants, that's all that matters. And here comes Mr. McMahon. He's unmasked now. Revealed his identity. Of course, we all knew that's who it was, and he just launches Chavo out of the ring. The ECW general manager is a disgrace to this brand. So proud of himself for once again standing up Chavo Guerrero. As this one continues to go on, I do wonder where this is all, what this is all leading to. By the way, that was an awesomely placed cutscene. I really like that, actually. I wasn't intending for that at all, but it made sense. He removed the mask, he removed the gear, and then he threw him out the ring. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, is this the last we've seen of Chavo Guerrero? As long as he's contracted by DiBiase, I doubt it. But I'd like to know how DiBiase is going to retaliate to this, because tonight wasn't his night. And when things don't go that guy's way, he can be just as dangerous as McMahon himself. This one's going to continue. Hopefully next week we'll see Kozlov back in action. And we will see you guys on SmackDown this Friday.